I just finished tape 1, and it took me quite a while. I'll be real. I think it's the whole thing is in total like 5-6 hours, something like that. But I'm kind of conflicted about continuing. But the next update, April 15, is free on PlayStation Plus, so I'll probably just play it and stream it. But if it was paid, I don't know that I would pay for more. I think it does a good job of immersing you. So it does like the bare minimum of a story game is you want it to bring you into the world. But honestly, having the present and the past, I don't think ever benefits games unless you do more with the present. But the present usually ends up becoming not as important as the past. But even then, I don't like dividing it up. Although it is important because you have, talking to your friends about how you shared recollection of what's happened in the past. Would I recommend you play the game? Would I recommend you play Lost Records Bloom&Rage? Sure, if you have, free time and you want a story game, because there's not that many. Like, the original Life is Strange is great. The sequel's not so much, depending on who you talk to. The most recent Life is Strange, just weirdly written. But is this game weirdly written? Kinda, but it sort of makes some sense. I feel like when all of it's out, it'll be better. Maybe. But again, it's a story about 4 women and when they were kids or teenagers. So obviously you'd think a female audience would understand the story better or appreciate the nuances better than me as a male, and that's okay. But I can only talk about my thoughts and feelings, and so I think it was alright. Nothing groundbreaking. It's got some mystery stuff, some things to figure out, and a larger mystery that'll come, more revealed more as you get more tapes and you keep going. So I think I do sort of want to know what happens next, but then at the same time, because you have past and present kind of invalidates any of the real danger of the past, and the sort of the scary horror elements don't hit as hard. So I do feel like if the whole game was just the past, and then say one of the final tapes was the future, and it's like the recollection, I think it could work better, but they wanted to balance it. And I've seen this story technique used a lot with story games. It seems to happen, well, most recently with the casting of Frank Stone. It's the most recent one. That had past and present, but then it had multiverse aspects, so there could be changes in the past, and it wouldn't reflect on the present. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the time gap is huge. 27 years is a big time gap between the past and the present. So there's so much room for things to have made an impact, but then that impact to have not made its way all the way to the present. So it's like you don't necessarily feel your decisions having any impact at this point. But then again, as but it continues, maybe it will. I don't know how well the decisions will carry through to the second tape, because some games, story games, they don't carry as well. Like the writers have a general idea of how they want things to play out, so they don't allow the player to actually meaningfully change things a whole lot. So I'm not sure. You just speculate. I don't think anything we've done in tape 1 is going to have much of an impact on tape 2. Maybe relationship stuff, but I feel like none of that matters because the present is so obviously developed the way it has. I feel like there's no point building any relationship with any of them. I feel like that's kind of irrelevant, like massively irrelevant. It's odd because the main character is in such a good place. Well, not a good place. I don't know. And they found their place in the present. So I don't feel like they're trying to strive for anything, trying to achieve anything, trying to change anything. I don't feel like there's any it's not like It Chapter 2, even though that's sort of got its own weirdness, it's not like that. Where they're sort of... There's like a resolution to be found. Or like Jumanji is probably a good example, because you have the present and the past, and then you have it wraps back around and they change what happened. The original Jumanji, of course. No. I think the music is good. I know it's all going to be copyright claimed from the streams. I'm doing this review in the stream, but whatever. That is what it is. But I don't know. It's like a teenage girls versus, I don't know. It's not a coming of age story. Or is it? I mean, everything is, I suppose. But I feel like a lot of things that happen are blown out of proportion, but then at the same time, they're teenagers, so that's totally normal. But then there's things that are like, yeah, you know, it's going to have an effect on you. You will be, you know, other people's actions do have an effect on you regardless of what age you are. So you can be impacted by even the slightest of things can, you know, sort of change the way you handle situations or make you feel as though things are at the most extreme negative. But yeah, it's I mean, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot, but then I also feel like the ending of the episode kind of takes away so much. It like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. If you got time, check it out. I wouldn't rush to it. I don't feel like anyone's going to spoil it for you. And if they do, I frankly can't understand why they'd bother. That's how I feel about it. It's like, it's not... Is it Life is Strange? No. Use a camcorder instead of take photos. You take so much less, 7 seconds or less, really. 4 seconds recordings, because you only need to do 4, but you get 7. Little bite-sized snippets that do sort of piece together, which I feel like if you are artistically inclined, you'll be able to make some good stuff, but at the same time, the audio that goes over the top of it, your character's describing what's happening, you have nothing to do with that, so it still feels like you have no input. It's kind of weird. Like, it is an interesting mechanic that you can record things in the game and they do piece together into an actual little video. I think that's... The intentions are good, but having the audio over the top kind of ruins it. Because it can double up with the audios. I'm playing the whole thing in French, so I think that helps a little bit, honestly. Maybe reduces some of the cringe elements. For me, at least, as a non-native French speaker. So it's like... I think... And it kind of fits too, with the French-Canadian thing. I think that actually sort of fits. It's kind of funny. I think it sort of works. But yeah, I mean, so much of it is around Corey. So I know he's going to play more of a role going forward, but I don't know. Like, yeah, it's back. All right. That'll do. That's a little spoiler-free recommendation. And then I'm going to talk about spoilers in the stream. So if you want to check the streams out, there's 3 of them, unfortunately, because of my technical issues. But it is what it is. Check it out if you're interested. And I think there's a bit to think about and talk about, which is a good thing. Is it the greatest thing ever? You need the full picture. At the minute, I'm not sold, but I don't think I'd pay for it, is how I describe it. If I wasn't playing for free on the PlayStation Plus thing, not free technically, but yeah, I'm not like... But we'll see. Hopefully it goes somewhere... Hopefully it elevates, because I honestly, with the way it's going, I'm not sure it will. It could though. But yeah, it's been me, Frosty510, talking about... I keep getting the name. I'm terrible. Lost Records, Bloom&Rage, Episode 1, Tape 1. And it's not bad. Like, it's in that 6 to 7 out of 10 range. Because from my perspective, I feel like it's in that sort of range. It has some good stuff, and also performance-wise, it's not perfect. It has some drops and frame rates and things that I think are totally inexcusable, in all honesty. But I don't know. Do I regret playing through it? No. So I'll play through this second tape when that comes out. I don't know. It's kind of... It's hard. The past and present stuff really does hamper a lot of things. And it's not like a... I don't feel like it's like a meaningful... There's not a lot of meaningful stuff. But then again, maybe it is. If it means something to you, the decisions, then yeah. But if you feel like you can see through it, then maybe it won't feel as impactful. But yeah. Alright. Alright. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you next time. I'll continue the stream. If you want to hear the spoiler chat, jump in the stream at about the 2 hour mark. The third part. Alright then. Yep. See you.